Hi, this is Leslie. Hope you're well, and welcome to a special video on Bitcoin. In this particular video, I want to show you my forecast and prediction for Bitcoin for the next 3 to 6 months as we head into the new year, the year 2021. Now, before we start and talk about Bitcoin, I know you're probably thinking, Alessio, what's this doing here in the video, right? It's a Christmas tree, and this thing in the background here, isn't it a bit early for Christmas? I know, guys, it's November, and it's way too early probably for Christmas. I agree with you. But I thought to myself, you know what? We're in lockdown, and it's all you hear on the news right now. It's bad news, bad news. And I thought to myself, you know what? It's not a bad idea to just cheer ourselves up a little bit. And yeah, okay, go crazy and put a Christmas tree up. And as you can see behind me, I put a fireplace over there. It looks really nice, actually. It looks really cozy. Okay, let's talk about Bitcoin. So as I'm going to show you this chart, I want to actually bring your attention, as you can see there. So this is the chart of Bitcoin on the weekly chart. This is a long-term chart of Bitcoin. And of course, you will see the peak we made there back in the year 2017 that was obviously just near 20,000. And the crash that occurred on Bitcoin just after we hit near the 20,000 level, a major crash in 2018. And of course, the bottom we hit there in December of 2018. I'm sure you all remember that. Notice what happened after that major crash in Bitcoin. We had a three-wave move up. Okay, first we had one wave. That's the major rally we had last year in 2019. Then the crash that occurred in summer, in the middle of the summer of 2019. And then of course the second crash we had, as you can see there, in the spring of this year, okay, that brought it down to about the 4,000 levels. And then after we hit those major lows, then we started the major rally that we can see here, the rally that started from the spring of this year. The rally from 4,000 levels all the way to the current levels you can see here near the 16,000 range. Okay, so what does all this mean? Well, as you know, I'm a great believer in what's called Elliott wave theory. And Elliott wave theory tells us that markets move in the direction of the major trend in 5 waves. So the trend moves in 5 waves, okay? Wave 3 being the larger part of the trend, wave 5 being the final part. By the way, Elliott wave theory also tells us that corrections are formed of 3 waves, A, B, C. All right, guys, you're probably wondering now, well, how does it help us being able to forecast for the future going to 2021 in regards to Bitcoin? So what's interesting about this last 3 waves, I have these last 3 waves, okay, the rally from 2019 and the crash that occurred after that, and then the rally that occurred this year in 2020. I have these last 3 waves as 1, 2, 3. In other words, guys, I believe the rally that started back in March of this year was wave 3 of a much larger 5-wave uptrend, okay? Remember, wave 3 is usually the longest and the most strong and dynamic part of a trend. And by the way, you may recall last year I was talking about what's called a wild card theory or a wild card scenario. What does that mean? All I was expecting last year in 2019 was a major crash, a major drop in the price of Bitcoin to start wave 2, and then we start wave 3. If you go back to my videos from last year, I was talking about this wild card scenario. So that's what I'm seeing right now. I believe we've had so far 3 waves after the crash that occurred in 2018. Waves 1, 2, 3, you can see right there. We're now in the major, larger wave 3 in an uptrend. By the way, you will also notice that we hit the symmetrical 100% projection of the first wave. If you measure wave 1 of this larger uptrend, if you measure wave 1 and you project that wave 1 from the bottom of wave 2, you'll see we recently hit, I think it was last week, we hit the symmetrical 100% projection of that wave 1 at the 14,607, I think it was. So 14,607 on Bitcoin was the 1-to-1 or 100% projection of wave 1. Now, some of you are probably thinking, hang on a second, Alessio, couldn't this be also an ABC kind of scenario? Couldn't this be an ABC wave? So what if this is not 1, 2, 3 in an uptrend, but an ABC corrective rally? Which means what? Which means if it's an ABC corrective rally, that means we could be ending up going into a major crash again, a major drop all the way back down to 4,000, maybe 3,000 levels. No, guys, I really don't think that's likely for a number of reasons, which we don't have time to go through in this video. But all I would say to you is that the way I'm seeing the chart right now, to me, the structure does not fit an ABC type corrective scenario. The wave counts do not suggest this. Also, I think the fact that we've now exceeded the 100% projection, that also reduces the probability of an ABC type rally. So no, and I think I actually have the crash that occurred, the crash that started from 2019 and the crash that occurred this year. I have all of this as a wave 2. As you can see, wave 2, by the way, is composed of 3 waves, the ABC, okay? So I personally think, no, I think this is the start of a major wave 3, and I think people out there who think we're going to go back to 4,000 probably will end up being disappointed. So I still see us in a bull market. So guys, I think we're now in a major bull market in Bitcoin, which is going to end up going to our target for wave 3 in 2021. And I'll show you my target for wave 3 in a few moments. All right, guys, so far sounds good. By the way, I want to make sure I mention this, that even though I remain bullish for the next 3 to 6 months, that does not mean that Bitcoin is going to go in a straight line up. Remember, we're going to expect pullbacks. We're going to expect glitches along the way. Nothing goes ever in a straight line. Okay, as I'm sure you know this anyway. We're gonna have pullbacks. We're gonna have retracements along the way. But again, I don't think the pullbacks and retracements are going to be severe enough to push us into a bear market. No. So I think we are in a bull market. Yes, we're going to have pullbacks along the way, but I think our targets, the major target for this wave 3, I'll show you this in a few moments, is going to take us at the very least to the highs of 2017 at near the 20,000 levels. So you're probably wondering, okay, so where could this major wave 3 uptrend be taking us, right? Well, I had this wave 3 taking us to the 1618 extension of waves 1 and 2. In other words, guys, if you measure that wave 1, the rally that started from the end of 2018 all the way to the middle of 2019, if you measure that wave 1 and then project that from the bottom of wave 2, in other words, the crash we had this year, you project that upwards, and then you look at the 1618 extension of that move, well, that's called the golden ratio. If you're familiar with Fibonacci numbers, then you probably recognize 1618 as the Fibonacci sequence. It's called the golden ratio. That means the 1618, the golden ratio of the first wave, of wave 1, when you project that from the bottom of wave 2, that is taking us, the 1618 is taking us to where? To the 21,255 levels, approximately. So 21,255 on Bitcoin is my first target for wave 3 of Bitcoin. In case you're wondering, what about the second target? Well, the second target is the 1786 extension of the first wave. Again, if you measure wave 1, you project it from the bottom of wave 2, the 1786 takes us to approximately 23,063. So that's the range I have for you there in that box you can see right there, between 21,255 to 23,063 for my targets of wave 3. Now again, guys, I'm not expecting we're going to hit that level this year. I think we're going to hit that level probably by the first half of next year in 2021. If I had to put a time limit or time range as to when we could hit those levels, I think likely between January to May of 2021, of next year. I would say if I could narrow it down, it would have to be probably between January to April, January to March maybe. But again, I'm going to put it between a range of January to May of next year, 2021. We could reach those levels for wave 3 at the 1618 extension. You can see it right there, approximately 21,255. Now, in case you're wondering, when we eventually reach those levels, near the 21,000, 23,000 levels for wave 3 next year, guess what, guys? We're going to load up as much as we can on Bitcoin because we're going to go straight to the moon.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
No, of course, I was joking. But the reason I mentioned that because that is exactly what everybody else will be thinking. All right, guys, so the herd, pretty much everybody else out there, and all the article writers and all the video makers out there will be saying, yes, guys, we've now hit 20,000 levels. We've broken above the highs of 2017. We're now at the 23,000 levels. And yes, guys, we're going to go straight to the moon. And everybody will be extremely bullish at that point. And in case you're probably thinking where I'm going with this, yes, guys, we're going to reach FOMO, maximum FOMO, fear of missing out. A lot of people probably will be jumping in at the worst possible time. Because why? Because after we reach wave 3, we're going to expect a wave 4 correction. We're going to have a major wave 4 pullback and correction. So I think, guys, the reason I'm mentioning this is that when we eventually reach those levels for wave 3, we have to be very careful and very cautious, because everybody else will be super bullish. The herd out there will be FOMOing. They'll be absolutely over themselves, thinking, yep, that's it, we're going to go massively higher. That is right before a major reversal. Well, I don't mean a crash. I'm not expecting a major crash, but I'm expecting another retracement, another major pullback in the price. By the way, guys, make sure you watch my member video this Sunday, because I'm going to talk to you about my targets for wave 4 and wave 5 as well. So in the members video this Sunday, I'll talk to you about wave 4 and wave 5 targets. All right, guys, so I'm hoping this video has clarified my perspective for pretty much the next 3 to 6 months. Again, I'm remaining bullish for the remaining part of this year, especially for December, and of course going into January to May of next year as well. Again, guys, remember, I'm not saying Bitcoin is going to go in a straight line to our targets. Nothing ever goes in a straight line. I know you know this. The only reason I'm mentioning this because, again, I'm expecting pullbacks along the way. I'm expecting glitches, pullbacks, pullbacks to the averages. For example, we haven't had a pullback yet to the daily 21 average or the daily 34 moving average. So I'm expecting pullbacks along the way as we reach our targets for wave 3. All right, guys, and I think those pullbacks along the way could potentially be opportunities for traders to load up on Bitcoin. And guys, also I would say this, when we eventually reach the targets for wave 3, it might be a good idea for traders out there to potentially tighten up their stop loss, maybe take some partial profits. Again, it's optional depending on the strategy, but maybe tighten up some stops. Of course, if you're hodling, if you're just holding forever, that's different. That's a different strategy altogether. All right, guys, before I finish the video, I just want to say a couple of things. Firstly, my good friend Charlie Burton, he's now giving you a free month, your first month for free when you join his Signal service. Again, I told you before that my good friend Charlie Burton is a fantastic trader. And if there's one trader out there I really trust, it is Charlie. So he's now giving you your first month free for his Signal service. And he's also going to give you a 40% discount when you join, when you use this promo code you can see right there, Bravo1, when you join his Signal service. And there's a video you can watch on what his service is all about on that link you can see right there. So go ahead and check it out. And before I finish the video, I just want to say this, that I piled for you a few clips of my trips abroad in the good old times and normal times when things are much more better and normal. And I hope you enjoy this next clip and music as we head into the festive season. All right, guys, thanks very much indeed, and bye for now. Cheers.